Photosynthesis is the process by which plants, some bacteria, and some protists use the energy from the sunlight to produce sugar, which cellular respiration converts into ATP, as the fuel used by all living things. The conversion of unusable sunlight energy into usable chemical energy is associated with the actions of the green pigment chlorophyll. Most of the time, the photosynthetic process uses water and releases the oxygen that we absolutely must have to stay alive. Photosynthesis occurs in green plants, phytoplankton, and cyanobacteria. During the process of photosynthesis, cells use carbon dioxide and energy from the sun to make sugar molecules and oxygen. These sugar molecules are the basis for more complex molecules made by the photosynthesis such as glucose. Then via respiration processes, cells use oxygen and glucose to synthesize energy-rich carrier molecules such as ATP, and carbon dioxide is produced as a waste product. Photosynthetic cells contain special pigments that absorb light energy. Chlorophyll is the primary pigment used in photosynthesis. It reflects green light and absorbs red and blue light most strongly. In plants, photosynthesis takes place in chloroplasts, which contain the chlorophyll. Chloroplasts are surrounded by a double membrane and contain a third inner membrane called the thylakoid membrane that forms long folds within the organelle. Thylakoid membranes look like stacks of coins, although the compartments they form are connected like a maze of chambers. The green pigment chlorophyll is located within the thylakoid membrane, and the space between the thylakoid and the chloroplast membranes is called the stroma. Photosynthesis consists of both light-dependent reactions and light-independent reactions. When light energy reaches the pigment molecules, it energizes the electrons within them, and these electrons are shunted to an electron transport chain in the thylakoid membrane. Every step in the electron transport chain then brings each electron to a lower energy state and harnesses its energy by producing ATP and NADPH. Photosynthesis is the process in which light energy is converted to chemical energy in the forms of sugars. In a process driven by light energy, glucose molecules are constructed from water and carbon dioxide, and oxygen is released as a byproduct. The energy from the sunlight drives the reaction of carbon dioxide and water molecule to provide sugar and oxygen as seen in the chemical equation for the photosynthesis. The two parts of photosynthesis is the light-dependent and light-independent reactions are two successive reactions that occur during photosynthesis. In light-dependent reactions, the energy from sunlight is absorbed by chlorophyll and converted into chemical energy in the form of electron carrier molecules like ATP and NADPH. In light-independent reactions or the Calvin cycle, carbohydrate molecules are assembled from carbon dioxide using the chemical energy harvested during the light-dependent reactions. Photostems are the process that converts light energy into chemical energy takes place in a multi-protein complex. Two types of photostems are embedded in the thylakoid membrane, namely the photostem 2 and the photostem 1. These energized electrons are transported by energy carrier molecule which power the light-independent reactions. Photostems consist of light harvesting complex and a reaction center. Pigments in the light harvesting complex pass light energy to two special chlorophyll, a molecule in the reaction center. Both photosystems contain many pigments that help collect light energy as well as a special pair of chlorophyll molecules found at the core reaction center of the photosystems. The special pair of photosystem 1 is called P700 while the special pair of photosystem 2 is called P680. In a process called non-cyclic photophosphorylation, electrons are removed from water and pass through PS2 and PS1 before ending up in an NADPH. This process requires light to be absorbed twice, once in each photosystem, and it makes ATP. In fact, this process is called phosphorylation because it involves using light's energy to make up ATP from ADP. Steps in phosphorylation are as follows. When light is absorbed by one of the many pigments in photosystem 2, energy is passed inward from the pigment to pigment until it reaches the reaction center. There, energy is transferred to P680, boosting an electron to a high energy level. The high energy electron is passed to an acceptor molecule and replaced with an electron from water. ATP synthesis. In this step, the high energy electron travels down an electron transport chain, losing energy as it goes. Some of the released energy drives pumping of H+ ions from the stroma into the thylakoid interior, building a gradient. As H+ ions flow down their gradient and into the stroma, they pass through ATP synthase, driving ATP production in a process known as chemiomosis. Next step for phosphorylation is light absorption in PS1. In this step, the electron arrives at photosystem 1 and joins the P700 special pair of chlorophylls in the reaction center. When light energy is absorbed by pigments and passed inward to the reaction center, the electron in P700 is boosted to a very high energy level and transferred to an acceptor molecule. The special pair's missing electron is replaced by a new electron from photosystem 2, arriving via the electron transport chain. The last step for phosphorylation is the NADPH formation. In this step, the high-energy electron travels down a short second leg of the electron transport chain. At the end of the chain, the electron is passed to NADPH+ along with the second electron from the same pathway to make NADPH. Light-dependent reactions require sunlight. In the light-dependent reactions, energy from sunlight is absorbed by chlorophyll and converted into stored chemical energy in the form of electron carrier molecule NADPH and the energy currency molecule ATP. The light-dependent reactions takes place in the thylakoid membranes in the granum stack of thylakoids within the chloroplast. In the light-independent reactions, or namely the Calvin cycle, the energized electrons from the light-dependent reactions provide the energy to form carbohydrates from carbon dioxide molecules. The light-independent reactions are sometimes called the Calvin cycle because of the cyclical nature of the process. Although the light-independent reactions do not use light as a reactant and as a result can take place at day or night, they require the products of light-dependent reactions to function. The light-independent molecules depend on the energy carrier molecules ATP and NADPH to drive the construction of new carbohydrate molecules. After the energy is transferred, the energy carrier molecules return to the light-dependent reactions to obtain the energized electrons.